The ram, also known as the goat or sheep in the Chinese zodiac, is often seen as gentle, kind, and artistic. They embody sensitivity, creativity, and a deep sense of compassion. But if you think the ram is all soft wool and serene mountain pastures, you're in for a surprise. Behind that calm and harmonious exterior lie some strange, weird, and even shocking personality traits that not many know about. If you've ever wondered about the darker side of the ram, prepare yourself for an unexpected journey into their hidden personality. First off, the ram's soft-spoken and timid nature often conceals a rather frustrating trait: their indecisiveness. While rams are known for their empathy and desire to maintain peace, this can make them deeply fearful of making decisions. They will go to great lengths to avoid conflict or responsibility. In relationships or work environments, this reluctance to take a stance can make them seem passive-aggressive. They'd rather blend into the background than deal with confrontations head-on, leaving others to deal with the consequences of their hesitancy. In Chinese symbolism, the ram is often associated with peace and nurturing, qualities linked to the earth element. But, like the earth, rams can become immovable once they've settled into their comfort zones. This leads to one of their most unexpected traits: stubborn passivity. Rams may appear agreeable, but when pushed, their resistance to change or disruption becomes quite apparent. The paradox of their stubbornness is that it doesn't manifest through aggression, but through passive resistance. They might refuse to speak up or take action, and instead, they'll wait for others to fix the problem or make the tough decisions. Another hidden aspect of the ram is their deep insecurity. Despite their outward appearance of serenity and calm, rams can be remarkably fragile when it comes to their self-esteem. They are highly sensitive to criticism, and even the slightest remark can leave them brooding for days. Their desire to please everyone around them makes them susceptible to emotional manipulation. In Chinese astrology, the ram is closely tied to the lunar phases, which are believed to influence their mood swings. This connection to the moon means that rams are prone to periods of emotional highs and lows, often becoming overwhelmed by feelings of inadequacy. It's this emotional fragility that can make them unpredictable and difficult to understand. Historically, the ram has been seen as a symbol of sacrifice in Chinese mythology. In ancient times, sheep were often offered in rituals to appease the gods. This theme of self-sacrifice seeps into the ram's personality, but in unexpected and sometimes unhealthy ways. While rams are incredibly generous and giving, they can also become martyrs in their relationships. They'll go out of their way to accommodate others, often at their own expense, which can lead to a deep well of resentment that eventually bubbles to the surface. This self-sacrificing behavior is often driven by an overwhelming need for approval and love, which they rarely feel they receive in full. Then there's the issue of the ram's dependency. Rams crave emotional support and a sense of security, often to the point of becoming clingy or overly reliant on those around them. They fear abandonment and may try to overcompensate by being overly attentive or needy. This dependency can be suffocating for their partners or friends, as the ram seeks constant reassurance. If they don't receive it, they may retreat into their shell, becoming passive-aggressive or emotionally manipulative. Their reliance on others for emotional stability is one of their strangest and most unexpected traits, given their outwardly calm and composed nature. Despite their many charms, rams have a hidden temper that is seldom discussed. Yes, you read that right behind that docile demeanor lurks an unexpected fierceness. While it may take a lot to provoke them, when pushed too far, the ram's anger can be shocking. They won't lash out in obvious ways, but their anger is expressed through silent resentment, withdrawal, or even subtle sabotage. This hidden temper stems from their tendency to internalize emotions, so when they finally explode, it's often over something seemingly insignificant. In Chinese astrology, Rams are ruled by yin energy, which is passive and introspective, but when yin is unbalanced, it can lead to deep internal frustrations that manifest in unpredictable ways. Let's not forget the Ram's penchant for pessimism. Despite their sunny and peaceful exterior, Rams can be notorious worriers. They constantly fret over what could go wrong and are prone to bouts of anxiety. Their imagination, which is typically a source of creativity, can turn against them, feeding into their fears and insecurities. They tend to imagine worst-case scenarios, which leads them into a spiral of negativity. This pessimism often catches people off guard, as they expect the Ram to be a beacon of calm. However, beneath the surface, the Ram is often plagued by doubts and fears that they try to keep hidden from the outside world. In Chinese mythology, the Ram's association with nature and the earth element reflects their connection to the natural cycles of life. They are deeply intuitive and in tune with their surroundings, but this sensitivity can become overwhelming, causing them to retreat from the world altogether. Rams are known for needing solitude to recharge, and when they feel overwhelmed, they can become reclusive. This tendency to isolate themselves is another surprising trait, as it contradicts their usually social and warm demeanor. Advice for the Ram for those born under the sign of the Ram. It's important to recognize that your sensitivity and empathy are your greatest strengths, but they can also be your biggest challenges. Learning to establish boundaries will help you avoid becoming a martyr in your relationships. While it's wonderful to be giving and compassionate, don't forget to take care of your own emotional needs. Work on building your self-confidence, so you don't rely too heavily on the approval of others. Practice making decisions and standing by them, even if it feels uncomfortable. Remember, indecisiveness only leads to frustration, both for you and those around you. Trust in your intuition, and don't be afraid to take a stand. Finally, while it's natural for you to feel overwhelmed by emotions at times, try not to let pessimism cloud your outlook. Focusing on the positive aspects of life will help you break free from the cycle of worrying and fear. Surround yourself with supportive people who understand your need for emotional security, but don't become too dependent on them for your happiness. You are far stronger and more resilient than you give yourself credit for. In conclusion, while the Ram may seem like a gentle and harmonious sign, there is much more to their personality than meets the eye. From their hidden temper to their passive-aggressive tendencies, the Ram is full of surprises. But by embracing their strengths and working on their weaknesses, Rams can lead a more balanced and fulfilling life, while continuing to bring peace and creativity to the world around them.